So I'll just go back to the horror story then. So I've had a few actually. Some of them are not as bad. Some of them are pretty rough. So the first one is a client that I had where he paid me for SEO services, and it's not really a horror story, just a funny situation. But I told him in advance. So search engine optimization, for anybody that doesn't know it, it's just a ranking on Google or other search engines. And he had a really bad ranking. I think he was like on the bottom of page 2. Like, it wasn't really a good ranking. It was a landscaping company, and we rebuilt his website. I let him know, hey, this can drop your ranking. Like, we're completely having to re-index your site. We're having to submit this to Google Webmasters, do all this stuff. Rankings will drop. And he calls back the day after we update his site, and his ranking plummets, obviously. And he starts calling and almost like harassing us to get his ranking back up. And he demands that we get it back up, that we call Google to rank it, in situations where a client is completely clueless on what's going on. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get Google on the phone right now and get your site back up and ranked. It was the funniest thing. And I had to like almost send him like this legal letter. Like, it was a pretty formal letter basically saying, if you pull this shit on us again, we're just going to end this contract, and we're not going to fix anything on your site. But you'll have clients that are just so out of touch with how things work. And our job is to educate them. And obviously I did educate them in the process, but they called me Google boy. So I knew how to work with search engines, and they just thought, hey, this guy can contact Google. He can do whatever he wants for us. So just a funny way that a client views you. So that was kind of a pain in the ass.
That's like, and the worst part is you can't roll back. There's literally no way to roll back after that because it's done.
Yeah. We ended up just making him pay up whatever he had and terminating the contract. There was another one where we had a client, and this is using WordPress. So WordPress has like security flaws all the time. I've had so many sites hacked. It's a pain in the ass. It's why I don't like to use it so much. And we were serving it up on GoDaddy. So that was our server. And somehow, this is a church website. Somehow the site got hacked to where there was a porn site on the church for over a week. We couldn't figure out. We had to take the site down. Nobody noticed it for a bit, but we get a call from the pastor. Yes. And it wasn't redirecting to a porn site. There were just pictures flooded on the website. I didn't know what to do. Like, how do you talk yourself? How do you explain that situation? What do you? Yeah, probably one of the worst.
You hope the pastor isn't technical, and you say, "You did this. You did this."
Must have been your search history that just.
This is because you touched yourself at night.
Oh, yeah. So how do you recover that? But it was tough. I mean, it was one of those moments where you freeze. Like, I load up the site, and I look at the URL, and I look at the site, and I'm just like, what's going on here? And I didn't know what to do. So I go to cPanel, I take down the site, and then for some reason the domain was still holding it there. Oh my gosh, it was one of the worst. I had to pretty much completely I had to nuke the site because it was a static website anyways. But there's situations.
I love that.
Yeah, there's situations like that could just, man, like. Whew.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to be explaining that.
I mean, of all websites, like, give me like a landscaper, give me a dentist, not a church. Come on.
Yeah, probably not what you want.
Nope.
Yeah, that's probably the last thing you expect when somebody's going to donate to the church and they get sidetracked.
Stumble a brother.
It's a test. You can just say you are testing the visitors.
If you hit exit, then you passed. Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's other ones too, but like the SEO one, that's got to be one that sticks because just stupid client behavior and yeah.
Yeah,
and if you learn that that's part of the process,
that's part. Like, that's some of the reason I don't get into and stopped getting into web design and like SEO and that side of things, because it's very hard to give somebody a definite, like, you will be number 2 on Google. Like, it's impossible to do that because it takes,
you can't guarantee it.
Time. It keeps changing, but it's very hard to explain that to a customer after you've charged them for that service. That, I guess it didn't work as well as I thought.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just being transparent. Like we always would tell them if we were doing SEO, like this is a service to improve, not a service to rank you. And usually we would end up ranking them like on the top. It was local businesses. It's super easy to do that, but